Page 332. Yedidabash al harachaman meshopatecha el ritzonecha yarutz avdecha kimoaya yishachaveh el mul hadorecha yeravo yedidutecha menofetzu bechotam Adonai Tzivolam nafshi molas avatecha ana elna refanala Eharodla Noam Zivcha Astitazeh Vetitrape Vehaitala Shimcha Tolam Yadadai-dai-dai-dai Yadadai-dai-dai-dai Yadadai-dai-dai 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 Verse 3. Vatihemu narachamecha lehusana al ben achuvecha kizekama nifsafti lirot v'tiferet uzecha ana eli kandadivi usana ve'anatitala halyalena ufros habibi alive Etzukat shelomecha tahireret mipotecha nahagila v'nismechava maherahu kivam moed v'chonenu kimeh
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our Friday night services here at Temple Sinai. I am Rabbi Benjamin Zober, and back with me is
Rabbi Sarah Zober, and welcome.
We are so glad that you have decided to join us this evening, whether you are here in person or you are out there wherever you are. This evening we are praying as we always do out of Mishkan Tefillah. If you are out there somewhere and would like a copy of the prayer book to follow along, you can download our virtual Siddur at sinaireno.org/live. It will have all the songs and the prayers and everything you need to get along. But whatever you use to follow along, even if it is just your heart and your memory, all are welcome and all are wonderful. We begin with a reading that is not found in your books, so extra bonus for those of you who downloaded it. When you pray, pray in the synagogue of your city. If you are unable to pray in the synagogue, pray in your field. If you are unable to pray in your field, pray in your home. If you are unable to pray in your home, pray on your couch. And if you are unable to pray on your couch, meditate in your heart. This is the meaning of the verse. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. We would like to invite up Marilyn Roberts to light our Shabbat candles this evening. The blessing can be found on page 2 in your Siddurim.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, V'tzivanu lehadlik ner, V'tzivanu lehadlik ner, V'tzivanu lehadlik ner, Shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. I always make fun of Marilyn for bringing a little bit of Camp Ramah to services.
We continue our welcoming of Shabbat with Hine Ma Tov, which can be found on page 10.
Ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet
מברכים גם יחד.
And we continue with Lecha Dodi, which can be found on page 20. We will be singing this evening verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach that 9th and final verse, if you are able, we invite you to rise and turn to welcome the Sabbath bride into your midst.
Oh, sorry. That's the wrong version. I'm just so excited about that one. There we go. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'nibur echad, hishmiyanu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'litchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Hitorari, ki ba'orech u'miori, uri, shir daveri, kivor alai alayich nikla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Boi v'shalom ateret balan, gam v'simcha u'v'tola, tov kemunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekavela.
You may be seated. We continue now on page 26. Please join me in the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon uvyom echon uv'chayei kol beit Yisrael. Bagala, uvizmahan kariv, v'meru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'al amul me'almaya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitareh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha barichu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tamiran me'alma, v'meru, amen. We turn to page 28, and if you are able, please rise for the Baruchu.
It is the preparatory month of Elul, so this is Rosh Chodesh Elul. Welcome to the month of Elul, our very last month of 5782. Because of that, we're going to start introducing some of our high holiday melodies. So this may sound a little bit different to you if this is in fact your first high holiday. If this is an oldie that is ingrained deep in your soul, please join along.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
We continue on page 31 at the top of the page together. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Ahavat Olam can be found on the very next page.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadata Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofenu U'kumenu nasiach b'tokecha V'nismach v'divrei toratecha U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayeinu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla Nege yomam v'layla Ahavat va'al tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael.
The Shema can be found on the next page.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue together with the V'ahavta on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha Hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeiti Achem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. We read together the English on page 38. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. Micha Mocha be found on page 40.
Kifat Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
We turn to page 43 and we read at the top of the page, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Yismachu can be found on the next page.
Yismachu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. V'korei oneg, Yismachu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha, Shomerei Shabbat. Mekadashei Shavit. Kulam yismeu ve'yitamdu metuvecha. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Ve'korei oneg. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Mehashvi Ratzita bo v'kidasho. Kamdat yamim oto karata. Zecher l'maseh bereshit. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Ve'korei oneg. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malchutcha. Shomerei Shabbat.
He giggles every time I do that. I hope all of you get the joy of doing services with somebody who enjoys the music more than literally anything else. It's like bopping up here. It's great. That's why I married him.
Finally, an explanation. We turn now to page 46 for the Amidah. If you are able, please rise. Adonai sevatai tika uvia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chaskei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezra Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atarav Le'Hoshia, Morid Hatahal, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim B'Rofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Givurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umasmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue silently to page 62. Please be seated when you are finished or when you feel ready. Shalom Rav can be found on page 60.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata umelech Adon lechol shalom. Ki ata umelech Adon lechol shalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. B'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
We turn now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service this evening. We begin with a reading at the top of page 245. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. It is my pleasure to invite up Cookie and Ray Steinberg to open our ark this evening. We turn to page 246, and I invite you to please rise.
Ki mitzion tesei Torah, Ki mitzion tesei Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, Olam Mama Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagedula, V'Hagevura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanetzach, V'Hahod. Ki cho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki cho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, L'cha Adonai hamamlacha, V'yamid na'aseh l'chol rosh. Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al ha'torah ve'avodah ve'agimilut chasadim. Al ha'torah ve'avodah ve'agimilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You may be seated. You're 15, right?
For our Aliyah this evening, it is my pleasure to invite up Toby Iser,
Tobia Benjamin,
Ya'atu Tobia Benjamin Ben Harav Azriela Zamir La'aliyah HaTorah.
This side. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Efes ki lo yehe b'cha evyon ki yivarech Adonai ba'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nachala larishta rak im shemoa tishma b'kol Adonai Elohecha lishmor la'asot et kol ha-mitzvah hazot asher anochi mitzavacha hayom ki Adonai Elohecha beracha ke'asher diber lach v'ha'avatata goyim rabim ve'ata lo tavot umishalta v'goyim rabim uvecha lo yishmaru.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Oh, run away.
Don't you go anywhere. We got blessings for you.
He's like,
I'm
no,
going to bless you.
We're going to bless you again.
Misha berach avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you as you have come up to Torah in honor of God and Torah. May you merit from the Holy One of blessing protection, rescue from any trouble or distress, from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessings and success in your every endeavor, together with all Israel, and let us say, Amen. With our Sefer Torah in our midst, we turn our thoughts to those who need a bit of healing, whether it is of body or of mind or of spirit. At this time, we are thinking of Wendy Alderman, Kathy Bartlett, Tracy Bartlett, Neil Calder, Laura Cohen, Jeffrey Four, Jeff Gingold, Stephen Gould, Marlene Harris, Harvey Higdon, Laura Jawad, Kevin Knox, Dave Levine, Harav Miriam Bat Shifra V'Pinchas, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya Bat Sarah, Tim Ober, Judy Ramos, Ray Riker, Shirley Rutkovitz, Sarah Bat Chava, Marianne Schenker, Jessica Wadatz, Bobby Wells, Asher Zelech, everyone affected by the coronavirus and the Jewish and other communities of Ukraine. If there are other names that you wish to add, if you are online and you feel comfortable, please share them in the comments. And if you are here and you are comfortable, please do so when my eyes meet yours.
Russ Sloan, Maddie Mayer, Norma Cohn, and Kevin.
Benjamin Iozefovich, Joseph Isaac. Steve Goldsworth.
For everyone who is in need of that care, our song for healing, Misha Berach, can be found on page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBrecha Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habrecha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Ask Laura if she wants to come in to do
Lauren, would you like to come up and help dress our Torah?
We turn to page 252 as we all rise for Hagba and Galila.
Vezot HaTorah asher san Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai. Dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. We turn together to page 257 at the bottom. Come on over. That way you can read. We read responsibly. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace. Its highest teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person.
That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties, but the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads to them all.
Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do. Together in the middle of 256. Ki lakachtot natati lehem Torati al ta'azovu etzayim hi lama chazikim ba betovcha meushar derachecha darchenu bechol netivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chodesh, Chodesh Yameinu, Chodesh Yameinu, Kekenem. You may be seated. I had a conversation with a neighbor a couple of weeks ago. She had just gotten back from visiting family in Portland and was remarking at how many folks seemed to recently have moved into Washington Park. She had planned to go to the zoo and botanical garden there with her kids and was disturbed to see the very, very great evidence of human suffering there in that public park. Unfortunately, her disgust over witnessing it became the focus of her trip recap, and I never heard about the zoo. Similarly, some folks here in Reno know about the Truckee River bike path. It winds along the river through downtown to Sparks and beyond, and has always been a favorite for roller skaters, bicyclists, and walkers. There are folks who have said to me in the last few years that they no longer take that walk anymore because so many people have moved in there because they're unable to afford housing or to use our shelters for one reason or another. And this week, Rabbi Benjamin read for us that the Torah says, "Efes ilo yehyeh b'cha evion." There will be no needy among you. What on earth does that mean? Because I don't know about you, but I see evidence of the contrary everywhere I look. I see people losing their homes. I see kids going hungry. I see diseases of despair running rampant among those who are living in poverty or close to it. Now, too often in the book of Deuteronomy, we stop after that point, as if this were some sort of aspiration. Let's all keep trying, and who knows, someday it might happen. But Moses doesn't. Moses goes on, because Moses knows his people well. Right after telling us that there will be no needy, Moses says, if, however, there is a needy person with you, one of your kin in any of the settlements in the land that your God is giving you, do not harden your heart or shut your hand against your needy kin. Rather, you must open your hand and lend to him whatever is sufficient to meet his need. Beware, Moses says, lest you harbor that base thought that the seventh year, that year of debt remission, is approaching, and that you be stingy and give nothing to your needy kin. He will cry out to God against you, and you will incur guilt. Give readily and have no regrets when you do so. For in return, your God, Adonai, will bless you in all of your efforts and in all of your undertakings. For there will never cease to be needy ones in your land, which is why I command you, open your hand to the poor and needy in your land. First time I read this, I thought to myself, wait a minute. This directly contradicts everything Moses just said. There will be no needy among you, but there will never cease to be needy ones in your land. Isaac Caro, known as the Toldot Yitzchak, offers us some clarity on this section. He says, the reason that the poor person is poor is because the rich person is rich. When your star ascends, his descends. And for that reason, the text says the poor person who is with you, to indicate to you that you are the reason that he is poor. Now let's be clear, this is not an accusation from the Toldot Yitzchak. This is merely him doing a bit of biblical math. For him, the Torah states plainly that we are to give to the needy according to their needs. So Caro's statement is that anyone who has money that could be given, who is holding on to excess while others still don't even have the basics, that is the reason those folks remain poor. In Caro's interpretation, poverty is a signal to those who have their basic needs met that their responsibilities both to God and to their fellow humans have not yet been met. A different interpretation of this verse comes from my favorite commentator, John Isaac Abravanel, a late medieval, early Renaissance commentator. Now, once the treasurer of the Portuguese crown, Abravanel himself was forced to flee to Spain in the dead of night without a penny to his name. He rose again in Spain to befriend the crown and then was expelled with the rest of the Jews in 1492 and wandered for the rest of his life. Of all of our commentators who have commented on this text, Abravanel, I think, uniquely understands both the indignities and distress of poverty, as well as the comfort of being very wealthy. His take on this text has a slightly different emphasis from the Toldot Yitzhak. Abravanel writes, "It is appropriate for the person to whom God has given much from God's own goodness to have compassion on those who need what they have to give. As the rabbis tell us in Baba Batra, if a person says, 'Sustain me,' you must listen to them. This," he says, "is what is meant by 'there shall be no needy among you.' It will be true when we have enough neighborliness and love." In Abravanel's interpretation, poverty is not a problem nor even a rebuke. Poverty is a way for those who have been given much to give much back. And when poverty vanishes, that is evidence that we as a society are doing our job and are following God's laws. In this way, in Abravanel's mind, poverty and its afflictions are a test of our collective ability to love our neighbors, that greatest of commandments. This is a test that we can see with our own eyes just by walking down the Truckee that we have not yet passed. One last interpretation of the text, and it's the oldest. In the Talmud, a Roman approached the great Rabbi Akiva and asked a question that I still get asked to this day. "So, okay, Rabbi, if your God so loves poor people, why does God not support them?" To do this, the Roman told a parable. Suppose an earthly king was angry with his servant and put him in a prison and ordered that he be given no food and no drink, and someone went and gave him food and drink. If that king heard, would he not be angry with that person? Rabbi Akiva responded with his own version of that parable. Suppose an earthly king's beloved child were put in prison and given no food nor any drink, and someone went to them and gave them the food and drink they needed. If the king heard, would he not reward the one who gave the food and drink? Rabbi Akiva picks up not on the responsibility of the rich, like Toldot Yitzhak, nor on the test of our collective gratitude, like Abravanel, but on the most simple of theological truths in Judaism, that we humans are the beloved children of God, and that as such, we all deserve to be taken care of and given what we need. I talk about this because today is Rosh Chodesh Elul, the first day of the last month of the year 5782. And Elul has a gift that it wants to give every year. But we must be willing to seek it out, and we must be courageous enough to accept it. We have 29 days in this month, starting today, until Rosh Hashanah, until a brand new year. And these 29 days are supposed to be days of introspection and what I like to call soul accounting. Elul's gift is time and space to prepare each of our souls for next year's judgment on Yom Kippur. During Elul, if we have the courage to do it, we are instructed to look around. Re'eh, the name of our portion today, it means look. We need to look around at the world that we have lived in and created in this past year. And we need to take an accounting of the things that are going right and of what is going wrong. We need to look around at our communities and our families, the circles in which we have the greatest influence. And we need to see the things that we're doing well and the ways in which we're failing to care for one another sufficiently. We should look around our relationships and take accounting and then fix the parts that need fixing. And we should look at ourselves and be honest about our own weaknesses, our own faults, and make a plan to fix those. These next 29 days are a gift, but it's a gift that requires work and honesty on each of our parts. I'll let you in on a secret. Without the work, Yom Kippur is a hollow, long slog of a fast. And with the work, Yom Kippur is a celebration full of joy and relief that launches us into a new year that feels like it's full of infinite possibility. Re'eh, look. God tells us right here on the first day of the month that there should be no needy, and gives us the tools to make it happen. Not by removing the miserables from the streets and making them clean, but by removing the misery from fellow beloved children of God. Re'eh, look, we have 29 days until Rosh Hashanah and a new year of possibilities. 29 days to fix what is broken. 29 days to try and make amends. 29 days to hear the wake-up call of the shofar and double down and tend to our responsibilities. Re'eh, look. We hear at the very beginning of this portion, God puts before us blessing and curse and allows us to choose. What will we choose in the coming year? Shabbat Shalom.
We are going to now turn to Aleinu, which can be found at the bottom of page 282. I would like to invite up Bonnie to open up our ark, and I would invite all of you to please rise. Aleinu leshabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו כהמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 285. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Page 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Thank you. You may be seated. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. At this time, we recall Deidre Ann Mullen, Terry Gregory, Grayson Corbett, Joan F. Nutkin, Andrew Venuti, Gerald Kaufman, Lucille Alexander, Stanley Browdy, Edna Bailey, Jenna Deborah Denif Cassell, Will Spiegelman, Leonard Fusari, James Holly, Ken Hecht, Roberta Small Reish, Edward Gingold, Cookie Javinsky, Carl Weinberg, Al Grossman, Jeff Blank, and Richie Zorn. In this Shabbat, we commemorate the Artsites of Louis Dickens, Sarah Vargason, Dorothy Tate, Alan and Ellen Dawes, Martin Itkov, Joseph Solomon, Goldie Brewstein, Douglas J. Green, Eleanor Schaffner, Molly Leviton Boyarsky, Maddie Hess, Gershon Rutkovitz, and Laura R. Ginsburg. If there are other names that you wish to add, I encourage you to do so online in the comments, or if you are present here when my eyes meet yours.
Marilyn Roberts.
May their memories be for a blessing. Kadisha Tome can be found on page 294. If it is your custom, please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah. V'alma divrach v'rutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. V'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach V'Olam Ulmei Almaya Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh V'Yithadar V'Yithaleh V'Yithalal Shmei Kudesha B'Richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all who mourn, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. We have a few announcements for you this evening. The first is that we would love to thank Marilyn Roberts for being our greeter this evening, and thank Michael Gorden for running our live stream. We are, of course, always looking for people to help with the live stream. So if you are interested in that, please let us know so we can get you up to speed. It is much easier than you might think. So it is a great way to help out with things. Similarly, if you are interested in chanting Torah on a Friday night, whether you are well versed in it, did it once at a bar or bat mitzvah, maybe many decades ago, or have never done it but are interested in trying it out, Rabbi Sarah and Marilyn Roberts are delighted to help you with that, and we would love to have more people coming up here and helping to share Torah with everyone. For those of you who are present after our service, we will be having our grab and go neg out in the lobby with a little bit of challah and some fruit of the vine that you can take, and hopefully we'll, if you would like, can go outside where we can congregate a little bit more safely if you want to say hello to people and all of that. Those of you online, please join us for our Yisma Zoom, our virtual oneg, SinaiReno.org/live for details on that. Tomorrow morning, also online, we have Torah study at 10 a.m. We are in Genesis 45. We are, it's really getting good in that Joseph story. Things are being revealed, feelings are coming out, all sorts of wonderful stuff.
Men crying, beautiful.
Yes. Not just me reading it. SinaiReno.org/Torah study. If you're interested in joining us for that, you are always welcome to that. No prior experience is necessary. All are welcome. All right, looking ahead to the next couple of weeks, Sinai School this weekend on Sunday. Also, if you had not heard, we are inviting everyone to join us for the services that begin our Sinai School day. It's about a half an hour long weekday tefillah service. Really wonderful way to help increase your prayer knowledge and some of the tunes. It's a learner's minion. We focus on learning, so it is laid back and a little bit more informal to give everyone a chance to understand what's going on. If you would like to join us for that, please do so. Also on Sunday is the beginning of our Elul programming at 12:30 p.m. From Aging to Saging with Jen Wolfe. That is via Zoom. There's information on the website about that. It is a fantastic program, and if you're looking to start getting in the Elul spirit, that is a wonderful way to do it and start doing some of the work that is Rabbi Sarah mentioned for the high holidays. On the 29th, that's Monday, at 1 p.m. There is a sisterhood meetup. So if you are interested in getting together with some other members of the community and helping build up our sisterhood, that is at David's Grill in Sparks. A couple other things I just wanted to draw your attention to before I go too long giving you the announcements. On September 4th at 9 a.m., we are having a chalk drawing contest. You may have...
Can I plug this?
Do you want to plug it? Okay, yeah, all right.
I'm gonna bully him up.
Sure.
All right, so for those of you who have been to the chalk drawing contest at the Atlantis or at other places, This is well within everyone's ability. I went to a high school where a bunch of high schoolers every year got on teams and like made these amazing chalk drawing things. I am happy to consult with anybody who does not have any sort of artistic technical skills, but wants to get together a team. It doesn't have to be a team. You can do it by yourself. It is way more fun when there are a bunch of people to get dirty with. It is going to be Sunday morning on September 4th. The registration is $35, basically just to cover the cost of materials. If you have a group of 5, it doesn't cost all that much. And also I can give scholarships. But so far we have our Sinai School classes are each going to be doing one. Yes, thank you. Our Sinai School teachers are like, yes. Oh, okay. Throw down. So our Sinai School classes are each going to do one. We have an admin one that is going to be the director of Sinai School, Alicia Moss, and Rabbi Benjamin and myself. Basically, what we want everyone to do is pick a Jewish text and draw something on one of the squares outside of our building based on that Jewish text. There are just participation, like we're so excited. It's a great way to spend some time outside in a really safe, in a much safer environment. We will provide water and lemonade and iced tea, bring lunch, hang out with your friends. We're going to provide all of your chalk pastels and all of the materials that you're going to need. What we want to do is we want to have as many of our sidewalk squares decorated for the high holidays with amazing Jewish texts so that when everybody comes in for the high holidays, they kind of walk in with all sorts of Torah guiding them into our building. So please, 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 Hillel folks, if y'all want to do one, like a Hillel one, you let me know. But please, please, please don't let your lack of artistic talent stop you from enjoying everybody on Sunday morning, September 4th. Okay, now you can come back.
I had a really good chalk pun too, but look, I don't want to tell you guys that you don't have a chance. I mean, chalk it up to experience that we are going to win this thing. Yeah, you asked for it. All right. Let's see. Those are sort of the things coming up. We do have lots of other things going on. They're all online, especially as mentioned. The high holidays are upon us. So please take a look at the dates and times and all of the things for that so that you are able to join us for as much of that as you can. If you have school-age children and you're going, oh, I'm going to have to pull them out of school and this is a whole big thing, please let us know. We are well-versed at arguing with principals and teachers and making them understand that this is not just some made-up thing that you're pulling the kids out for, and this is legitimate, and are happy to help you and get them here so they can take part and minimize the struggles of having missed the day. So, all of that being done, we are now up to our closing song. I know this is a favorite of many of you. It is Razel's Adon Olam. It can be found on page 321.
Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Hefzo Kol Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yiyad L'Tifara Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Hefzo Kol Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu לתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמזרח. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצוחב לי ויצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת חוסי ביום מקרא. והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמזרח. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצוחב לי ויצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת חוסי ביום מקרא. בידו אפקיד רוחי, תהיה תישן והעירה, ועם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא. בידו אפקיד רוחי, תהיה תישן והעירה, ועם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא.
If you'd like to follow along with Kiddush, you can follow along on page 5. Again, if you say Amen, you get full credit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'rata lanu. Shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon nimchilanu, zikaron nemase
Bereshit, ki hu yom tefila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu bacharta, ve'otanu kidata, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ava uvratzon hinachatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please join us either in the Zoom or if you're here in person, join us at our grab and go. We'll see you outside.